Good morning, friends.
Good morning, people. I had to connect my phone as I do. I know you guys making fun of me, but I don't care.
You're
Good morning.
making
I hope
fun
y'all
of
having a
you.
wonderful morning. There I am. Turn this like that. Turn this down.
I
It's
look
a little
so
delayed.
sassy.
What's that?
I look so sassy.
You do. You say sexy or sassy or both?
Yes.
The sexy Lila morning show. How does it fucking get better than that? I didn't share. Let me share this thing. How does it get better than that?
Excuse me while I learn how to receive a compliment.
Uh, yes. Why not? Put this here. Let's see, Northern California. Good morning, people. Portland Healers. Drop this in a couple places. See how people doing. Uh, I don't know. I'm just dropping this different places. I hope people aren't offended when I drop anybody.
What'd
How's
you
it better
title
than
it?
what frequency are you attuned to?
All right, friends. So last week, while John was giving me a complimentary session in front of y'all, um, we stumbled upon how when we talk about picking up someone else's energy, we always talk about it in the negative.
Yeah.
And I got really excited to talk about the possibilities of something else. So, do you have any thoughts though, first, before we dive into the possibility of something else on why we do that?
So I think it's something that okay. I think that in this today I'm gonna put my AC hat on, my access conscious hat, plus some other stuff, but really access conscious because this is where I picked this up from. I think a lot of it is what we are used to being programmed in this reality. I show you a container and I ask you if it's half full or half empty. Most people will say half empty. It's the same. It's a point of view. And I think what happens is that your point of view starts to create, even for me, I'm gonna give my example, my subconscious to being attracted to something for so long. Or I set out, now this is where it gets really spooky and out there. I set out to be attuned to this and this reality, to have this experience until I choose something different.
Mm, okay. So, good morning, Kathy. Thank you. Um, I don't have the scientific knowledge to back up what I'm about to say. So, you
Uh-huh.
science nerds out there, feel free to make this sciency, but I'm going to make it plain American English. I think that we're wired to sense danger and to keep ourselves safe. And we keep ourselves safe by scoping out the bad things and like keeping ourselves away from them. And I think that that is why we orient towards the negative, so to speak.
Mhm.
And you're right, it is programming, it is habit. And I also think that there's an innate survival animal mechanism that makes us do that. But also, so I saw the amygdala speaks. Um, I'm
What is
still
that?
car
What is
shopping.
that? What was that? What is that? Amazing.
The amygdala,
Yes.
it's a part of the brain. Kathy, tell us
Oh,
more.
okay. No,
That's
I
as
get it
much
now.
about it
I
as
get
I
it now.
know.
I know. Yeah, I know. I do
Yeah.
remember it.
Um, so still car shopping, totally in love with the Volkswagen CC, which is a specialty Passat line that they don't make anymore. But also when I was shopping, I saw the Civic has a sport
Uh-huh.
model that started in 2019. I don't know if it started in 2019, but they're really cute from 2019 on. And yesterday I got taken out for Afro Caribbean food. I ate
Mhm.
so much. Oh my God. But on the way there and on the way back, I kept seeing Civics in all sorts of colors, but they were all late model Civic Sports. And it's that mechanism of like, I've turned that on in my brain because I looked at that car and thought, ooh, it's cute. So now I see them every fucking way.
Right. So you get programmed.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It's
And
the
and
algorithm.
I'm saying I agree with that 100%. But
Yeah.
what I'm beginning to discover is by doing some clearing energy, however you want to clear it, you can change that. That's what I'm saying. So it's like this. My naturopath friend doctor explained this to me, which is kind of dope. And this thing he's teaching me this meditation. We have this thing called uh, a luminous pearl and a compassionate pearl. Okay, there are these two pearls in the body. What their job is to allow you to pick up the different frequencies. They're all running. It's like radio stations right now in this space. Right now in my office, the frequency for every radio station that's local is in this room. I just have to have a fine tuner to find that. So I believe that we're designed even beyond that. It's just that no one has told us that we can change the programming. So we
Yeah.
get stuck. We get stuck being, it's just like this. I'm, I'm studying, I'm having an exam for my certified facilitator right now. So they give you this series of questions. And most people think this is where the nerd in me comes out. So in this, they give you 30 questions a year, and you can go back and you have to sometimes look at classes. They have this thing called reference material, and it's like huge. And I'm actually getting a kick out of it because it allows me to take a deeper look into how Gary thinks, the guy who created this. And they had this thing called the unside. Okay, I hope people, I get beat up if I don't supposed to talk, but I'm gonna talk about this because this shit just fucked with me. It's like this. Everybody's been programmed. What's the opposite of black?
It's not white, but the
Right.
thing
What
that
is
came
it?
to my brain is white.
Yes,
I,
that's
I
the
don't know.
programming. It's
Yeah.
unblack. It's unblack.
Okay.
Uh,
Mm, keep
yes.
going.
So one of the things that I say is how many places have we been programmed? Because the first thing I want, and they rate because in that phrase it says everybody's going to say that the opposite of black is white, but it's not. And then what happens is I start reading other sentences. I'm still wrapping my fucking mind around this shit uh, because
I can't do that one, but I can do love and hate. The
yes,
opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference.
yes, yes. So in this practice that I have in my meditation, we actually start to fine tune the virtues, and you switch the virtues out and eventually turn the virtues into a color. Because once you get to a certain level, words don't matter anymore. It's like time is not relevant in space. So the unside, and going back to what we were saying about fine tuning, what we tune into is what we like. Sometimes it's kind of amazing the things that I used to enjoy that I don't do anymore. Like I used to go to strip bars. I used to love that in the past. I like the energy of it. But now when I drive by, there's nothing to it. It's the
Yeah.
frequency. The frequency is different.
Yeah.
It's not, and I know that's TMI from too much information from some people, but I don't give a damn. I'm trying to drive home a point of saying this. If you're not happy with the frequency you're at any moment, just reach out your hand and use the imagination and turn the channel. Fine tune it to something different.
I like
Find something else that you can actually tap into.
I
And
like
it's just that fucking simple. It's not that difficult. But here's the it's and you've been entrained to always go with that frequency. It's like anything.
I love that. So um I want to get a little bit granular for people who are like me,
Mhm,
who are like, what do you mean turn the dial? Like what? I know what you mean, but
mhm.
previous me would be like, what? Can't do that. So, It's always that simple. It's not always that easy. So for me, turning the dial sometimes means leaning into that feeling that I don't want to feel because I am a push it away kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
And so last week we talked about the anger. Sometimes turning the dial means going all the way into the anger.
Mm-hmm.
The only way out is through came to mind when I said that. But
Mm-hmm.
like the more I am trying to compress it and trying to hold it down and trying to not express it because I don't want to be that like screaming dragon mom, the angrier I get, the more disconnect I create in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I can lean into it, move it through my body, and then be like, all right, guys, like we can't do this. Mom gets angry when this happens. Let's do something different. And it moves through my system, but it also creates more harmony in my home.
Yeah.
So I was listening to a program that I have from one of my clients called Heal It Now. And if you want more info, let me know. I'm glad to be a commercial for them. It's amazing. And it's an audio program. And Brian was talking about how, like, when you're in a bad mood or when you don't feel good, the best thing that you could do for yourself is to get around people who are in a good mood, but you don't want to because that actually doesn't feel good because the frequencies are misaligned.
Mm-hmm.
And that clicked something for me because sometimes what it takes to turn that dial is something that also doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But if we just do the thing, we will eventually start to feel better. That's, I think, where getting choice when it comes to access really
Mm-hmm.
landed for me. It's like I can choose towards this thing that feels better, that feels the way I want to feel versus the way I'm feeling now. And I can know that in the first moment that I make that choice, in the first 10 seconds I make that choice, it might not feel so good. But if I keep making that choice, if I keep making the choice to do push-ups, I will get stronger. If I
Yes.
keep making the choice to eat
Yes.
fiber, I'll clean out my gut.
Yeah.
But it's not always going to be that instant. And
So
sometimes,
can I add though something to that though,
yeah.
or two?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna challenge people to look at everything, and I'm learning this. I wish I would have known this fucking years ago.
Get it when you get it.
Does it have to be hard or difficult? And does it have to take time? Just a
It
question. Not
doesn't
say that.
have to, but sometimes it does. And the
Yeah.
reason that I point that out is because, like, so I told John this, I tell y'all now. I've been trying to run away from home for months, months. I need a good long month long vacation for my kids. And because I've had them with me their entire life, like literally their entire life, I need a vacation, like a hardcore serious vacation. And I was telling John earlier in the week, I was like, I got it and it's amazing. Like my glorious clients invited me on their retreat and they're covering the fullness of the expenses. And I'm still like, when I think about it, in February, over there, in the future. Um, but nonetheless, I created it.
Right.
And there's a lot of space between now and February. I could do something else. Like
Two.
I can probably get another vacation between now and then. And I was making it hard.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I don't have $2,000 for an Airbnb. If 2,000 of y'all want to send me $1, I will go to an Airbnb for a month though. Um, I wanted to go glamping, and the outpost that's nearest me is in Kansas City. My car broke before I went, and I haven't replaced it yet. Like all of these things, but like, what's right about that? I'm not getting.
Yeah. And I just want to remind people, the reason I say that is that have you ever heard somebody say, "Oh, they're just lucky"? Some
Mm,
people always have the luck. And one of the things that I've realized is that they actually choose that shit. And it's hard for me to do because it's like at 59, I'm like, what the fuck? Why come I didn't choose that? Because it's like the story of the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy could have taken her monkey ass home at any time by clicking her heels.
Had them shoes the whole damn
Whole
time.
damn time. How are we walking around with Dorothy's shoes on, walking around thinking that we can't click our fucking heels and create something different? That I mean, and I say that because a lot of people really, 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 really don't get it, and especially some of the people I've hung out in the past, and it bothers me because they think you have to do things a difficult way or it has to take some time. It really fucking doesn't. If you believe, and this is a word I'm gonna say that most people are gonna be like, ah, John, here you go with all this shit. This thing of miracles and magic happening. It's like, explain to me how you breathe. You don't actually know detail, but you know you're breathing. How many other things are right here? What's that book that I told you? One of my favorite books I read. Do I have it over here? The boy goes out of town and he's looking for this miracle, this magic, and he finds out the
The
entire time
Alchemist.
the alchemist. It's right in the front yard, buried right in front of your front yard. And what I'm saying, the reason I say that is that I get excited. Okay, there's a young lady that I work with. She's finally realizing it, that I work with here in this office. This is a young lady, a client of mine, and her family has taken all the steps to make life more difficult. She finally, at 16, she's finally turning and she got a job. She's getting her driver's license. School is a little bit more easier. And I was going to close this sister's case. And what I realized, she said, "Oh no, you're not closing my case." And I said, "Oh no, I'm closing your case because what I realized is, baby girl, you got this. You got it. You have a taste of. You have three things in a row that fall right in your lap, and you're like, whoa!" And you created that. And what I'm saying is, if I know that people have to take their sweet time with things, but I want to actually ask and beg for people to start to consider, could it be done with much more ease on their body?
I think asking for the ease is really important because we like to make things hard.
Yes.
I see what you're saying and I get what you're saying, and I also want to talk to the people who are like me, who want it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm real quick to get discouraged when it doesn't come like that.
Yeah.
So I want both of those points of view to be available to people so that people can see, like, oh, sometimes I need to just keep going. And there's a nuance between sometimes I just need to keep going. Like I'm gonna tell somebody else's story, but it's really, I think, important to this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a book called The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity by Edwene Gaines. Mm-hmm. And in this book, she tells a story about how she commissioned a cruise ship to take them out into an ocean. Don't ask me which one, I forgot. To watch Halley's Comet pass over. Mm-hmm. And she had to sell 50 spots in order to make this happen. So at her workshops, she would announce it. This woman said, "I'm going." She gave her a check. She opened the check at break to make sure all the ladies' information on it was correct. The check was a tenth of the deposit amount. Mm-hmm. And so she went back to the lady and was like, "I don't think you understood." And the lady was like, "I understood. That is my deposit. I am going on that cruise. You keep that check." And so over time, she sent her a little bit here, a little bit there. I think maybe she paid $200 total of the whole amount of the cruise. Mm-hmm. And so Edwene was like, it's the day before the cruise, whatever. She's going to send her money back when she gets back from the cruise. No big deal, whatever. Somebody who paid in full at the start of the retreat called her and was like, "I cannot go. And I know it is too late for me to get any kind of a refund. So could you please gift my spot to someone else?" And that she called the lady. This is the piece, humans. This is the piece. So Edwene called the lady, and the lady said, Edwene said, "You won't believe." And the lady said, "Oh, honey, I know. I'm already packed."
Yes. Yes,
She'd
that
only paid
that
two
that
hundred
that
dollars
that
of this $2,000 trip, but
that
life was like, I got you, and her
yeah,
belief was like, I'm gotten. So
yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the magic of what I'm talking about. And people don't realize that happens to me all the fucking time. All the time. And see what happens, we have it someplace fixed in our world that, oh, it has to come this certain way. And once you make it a certain way, you get stuck in it fucking showing up that way and it doesn't, then you think you don't have it. But you didn't ask another question. This young lady I'm talking about keeps on asking questions. I mean, it makes me almost want to cry because when you see somebody get it and she's got it at 16, I'm like, whoa, whoa. And this is the thing, this is how contagious this shit is. When you change your frequency, it's contagious to people around. Her mom is changing. Her mom showed up to this event where they weren't doing things together and she was complaining about this. Ooh, do you people get the depth of that? Once you choose that, you're going to fucking make other people, you're the virus, you're the good virus that changes this all.
yeah,
And that's what I beg people to. That's when we start talking about that, it's just like I'm beginning to realize that we're programmed to think that it has to be difficult. I am still programmed with certain things. When things aren't lined up in a certain way, I get freaked out. Like this. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys. There's 30 questions, and if you read these 30 questions for CF training, you're like, whoa. And every fucking day, the day that I looked at it, when I start this, I said, this is going to be an adventure and this is going to be fun and it's going to come to me with ease. I can't tell you guys, like when I go to do this, some of the stuff I just know because I open the book, I touch the book, blue, 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 and I go back and I look at the book, blue. It's the same. I'm like, whoa. And I'm not special. Well, I am special. Everybody's special.
yeah.
But some people might think I'm special ed or something, but I'm not. Anyway,
You're
uh,
hilarious.
but my biggest point of what I'm saying is I beg people to give it a shot, a chance to challenge your programming of the way things have to be established in this reality to attain your joy. That would be a begging of me. I'm begging you, and I have to get out of my way with it because I sometimes I know people are like, wait, I'm so excited about that attuning to a certain frequency that it's like if people realize that shit, they could be living with much more ease with everything. Because this is the thing, sister, that you told me about something. What have I not paid attention to? What have I not paid attention to when things happen and it falls like I call you, I'm like, oh man, on Wednesday this fucked up, yada yada yada. And it's actually a contribution of something that's going to happen in the future, but it's a heaviness because I'm allowing it to be heavy instead of being a contribution. Like if I take some horse shit and go pick up some horse shit right now and put a pile of horse shit and let the leaves blow on it, put some other vegetable scraps in it,
Ooh.
by the time of fall, the spring rolls around, I can actually put that in my garden and my vegetables going to kick off and take off and be like, Superman, here we are to save the day. And what I'm saying is the pool in your life is actually a contribution if you allow it. Sometimes it has to ferment, break down, do whatever it needs to do so it can actually build you up. But you have to be willing to look at everything from just like not this side, but just turn it slightly and see, oh, there's a little bit I can see something. Oh wow, there are lines on my hand. How many things have we not, and I say that, wow, I'm just giddy about that this morning because I know that to be so fucking true right now.
Yeah, 100%. I said, what gift is this? And I love that question. I'm
Yeah,
feeling it.
yes, that. What
Um,
gift is this? Yes.
John's turning
Yes,
into a
sir.
pumpkin in 3 minutes.
Yes.
Do you have any last thoughts? Anything you want to share?
No, I wish, I hope I contribute to others expanding their attunement, I think attunement, whatever it is, so that they have more, expand their frequencies. That's what I would ask. Expand your frequencies. I beg you to do that because life is for the fun of it. And I know that right now, I know right now that it's really rough for some people. I get that. But I beg you to just flip it just a little bit. Let a little light, as my brother George Clinton would say, everybody has a little light under the sun. So let yours in.
Mm, that's glorious. I love that.
Yes.
Um,
Got
I
anything going on
think
for people?
um no, no, not really, not yet.
The next thing I have is October 8th. I'm starting another How to Become Money workbook. That class is one of the dopest classes I've taught. I'm like, man, if you want to come in and have another type of experience, it's 10 sessions, probably like 2 months ago. It's going to go from October to December. We meet on weekends at 8:30. A bunch of magic happens.
I
Uh,
have somebody to send to you. Remind me.
yes. I think that it's one of those it's one of those classes that you like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God. Because it's like that for me. Like, did we just do that? How's it get better
Money
than that?
come,
Yes, money come, money
money
come, money come.
come.
But and I got some other stuff I'm doing, but I'm going to Mexico at the end of this month, I think. I think. I'm not sure. I think.
You're not sure if you're going, or you're not sure when it is.
I both. I know what it is. So yeah, I'm going. I'm
John's going to Mexico at the end of the month,
yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
We bully him into these
yes,
things.
yes, yes. I don't know why I said that. Shh, stupid John.
Uh,
Anyway,
Thank
it's
you,
pumpkin
friend.
time.
Thank y'all for being here.
Love you guys much. See you guys. Oh, next week we have to it'll be a recording, y'all, because I'll be in training.
I like how he's making a sad face about it. I
Yeah,
love not needing to
I
be up
love,
this early.
I love the high. I love the lives. It's all the way live. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Because Facebook be saying you singing somebody called song you don't have permission.
Right.
Name the
Bye,
song. Y'all
friends.
can name the song. But anyway, uh, until next week, deuces. Peace.
Bye, friends.